Testing.
Got us? Okay, sorry.
Conaway.
Here.
Evancho.
Here.
Loffman.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Marlin.
Here.
McMillan.
Here.
Wolverton.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to excuse Councilman Wolverton.
Mr. Conaway.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. Reading of the minutes, Mr. Marlin.
I make a motion, we dispense with the reading of the minutes and place on file.
Mr. Vancho,
I'll second that motion.
all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. Mayor's report.
Good evening, council.
Evening.
In front of you there, you got a couple things, and then I got a few notes. But right off the get-go, on A, master service agreement with utility service company for the design and installation of proprietary TTHM removal equipment at the water treatment plant. And you will get into the depth of that at committee. B, a cooperative agreement between the city and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the design and installation of the proprietary TTHM removal equipment at the water treatment plant. C, an agreement with ODOT for the resurfacing of Dewey Avenue, US 22, which includes bridge work and various enhancements. We want to get that in there with what we've already got going on Dewey Avenue area for next year.
All three of those requests to be referred to the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Council President. I do have these footnotes. Leaf pickup is ongoing, still rolling through the city and picking that up and the sticks along with it. And if you have any addresses or any difficult areas, please call the street garage, as we always do. Council people, please help out there if you see any difficult situations there. And then budgets are coming in. We requested those. We are doing that a tad bit different this year. We'll be coming in for a temporary rather than getting everybody cranked up before the holidays. We don't have the official numbers until about the second week of January on a few of that, so learn from experience, I guess we'll call it. So we're going to take it easy there until we get the final numbers in. But they are coming in, and we're almost got all of them compiled, so we can start looking at that. The police academy is ongoing. We had one shut down last week for some difficult situations, but we'll be back at that, and that's going well. The Christmas parade was really just perfect. I've seen a lot of them since I've been in office, but it started out smoothly. All the people did the work. A great crowd. Just absolute. The weather played into it. Ohio State winning, I'm sure, didn't hurt any, but the attitude was good, and the kids were out. Candyland, and of course, it was great to see the police dogs and the police presence, and just as fine a small town parade as you're going to have, and I just want to say that. I just want to take a moment. I don't know if you caught it in the park board minutes. I just want to say thank you. They picked and went with that front and center turf's the name of the company, but they're going to work within their budget there through the park board to work on McFarland Stadium and ongoing and work on some things there. And I'm real happy to take the pressure off Marty a little bit with. They're down a couple men out in there and have been, and so I think we got a different plan in place there, and I'm real proud of Mike and the group out there for working through that. And then the last but not least, and there's plenty more, but the still ongoing work going on out there, mostly Columbia Gas hired a contractor out through there. They're doing great work, but they're metal slabbing. Clark Street's the one that most people see most of the time, but they're doing good with the signs, but people have got to slow down. We've had a couple residents hit them steel things, going too fast. It's well marked, and when they hit that, that's on them. They call in here wanting a tire fixed or this and that. I'm sorry, call your insurance company. They don't want to hear that, but that's how it plays out. And same time, that's within the boundaries of the law, and the law isn't pretty nice sometimes, but it is what it is. So, you know, when you see those signs and different things, I was coming to here tonight, and there was a couple of them zigging and zagging, trying. Them metal slabs are clear across the street for one day, and one day only most of the time, but going 70 miles an hour doesn't help. So that might be a little fabrication. Maybe it's 50. Well, that's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Council, anybody have any questions?
Any questions of the mayor? Mr. Vancho?
Speaking of the Clark Street project, how soon will that be done?
That
It's anticipated being
They
done.
told me it was wrapping up late last week, and I saw them return this week. So I don't have any direct information to answer that question, other than the fact they'll be done when they're done. And they are in charge of those lines. I can sit and do all the things I want to, but they have done a good job of trying to be orderly about it. But when you're working Clark Street, and we might as well get used to it, because in 2 years, when they rip really into it, and that's why they're doing this work now, this is a practice session for what we're really get ready to go through. So Oakland Boulevard's going to pick it up a notch. Fifth Street's going to be, and I haven't had the call yet, but with Fifth Street's repaving, I can only imagine. And then we're going to fix Dewey next year, so they're going to extend to, hopefully we won't have, but anyhow, progress has its ups and downs.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, council.
We'll go on to communications.
I have the annual request from the city auditor asking to make transfers and appropriations from all departments in order to meet year-end expenses.
Ms. McMillan?
Motion to refer to finance.
Mr. Lockman?
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's granted. Next, please.
Request from the city, the city treasurer asking for an ordinance to amend Chapter 95 of the Code of Ordinances for the city of Cambridge as it relates to the income tax part of our code. These changes are needed in order for us to be in compliance with the Ohio Revised Code 718 amendments.
Mr. Marlin?
Make a motion, we refer to finance.
Mr. Vancho?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's granted. Next, please.
I have the Park Board minutes from November the 14th.
Mr. Marlin?
Make a motion, we accept and place on file.
Ms. McMillan?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. Next,
Monthly reports from the auditor, treasurer, and municipal court.
Mr. Leonard.
I'll make a motion, we place those on file as well.
Mr. Vancho.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion's granted. Okay, we'll go to reports of committees.
Report of City Services Committee, November the 20th. We recommend that council authorize the Secret Santa program to solicit funds for 2017 on Friday, December the 1st and Friday, December the 15th.
Are there any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, November the 20th. We recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Transfer $700 from council insurance to council services by contract. Transfer $58 from council advertising to council services by contract. Transfer $75 from council maintenance to council services by contract. Transfer $1,050 from general fund miscellaneous burials to council services by contract.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, November the 20th. We recommend that council pass an ordinance to rescind ordinance number 5716.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. Is there anything under unfinished business? Okay, we'll go to the audience portion. Anybody in the audience wishing to speak to council may approach the microphone and state your name, give your address, and you'll be limited to 5 minutes. So, is anybody here to speak tonight?
Good evening, council member. My name is Ken Diss. I've lived on South 9th Street for 45 years.
Can you give your address, Kenny?
Pat Pereira at 765 South 9th Street.
Thank you.
I sold my house at 712. We have an issue down there on South 9th Street, and it's all enforcement. I can sit on my front porch and probably write 100 tickets a day. Vehicles, junk vehicles, windows is out of it, but the biggest thing I have to complain about, the south side in Cambridge has more alleys and side streets than anywhere in Cambridge. This was laid out many years ago before your time and mine, for people to be able to park behind their house and have availability to park behind their house. Well, today's society, they park on the sidewalk, which you have an ordinance. You have Hawaii Code about the parking. They park on it. Brand-new sidewalks, new streets, park on the wrong side of the street. Biggest problem we have is signage. South 19th become a speedway. You got a speed zone down there at Garfield Avenue. There's nothing there, just a separate line. You got to have some kind of enforcement. There has to be some kind of signage, what the speed limit is. The one that you have now on the Camo Avenue Bridge coming on 9th is 10 foot high. People can't even see it because it's almost blind spot. The city's been down there, Mayor, thank you, probably a half a dozen times this summer and cleaned South 9th Street at the bridge up to the turn. Ride down there and take a look at it now. Every morning, the same individual, the same car throws his trash out. I don't know where the safety director's at, really don't care, but I think it would help with some signage down there and a little bit of the law enforcement at least come down. It's not their duty to judge. They're have a job to protect the people. If it's a violation, write the ticket and let the court decide whether they'll pay their fine or have to work it out. I think you all have to agree with that. It's just a bad situation. There's somebody going to get killed down there, especially some young kid there at Garfield Avenue. And Garfield Avenue between 9th and 8th is a disgrace. The trailer there. It is a disgrace to the city of Cambridge. I've talked to Kim. I think Kim's understaffed personally. Enforcement, that's my opinion. I talked to her about things and she does a super job. My council member represents me, does a good job. You guys sit here and make all the laws and all the ordinances to be enforced. You're not being enforced. Who do you blame? We got a chief of police that evidently can't do his job. Maybe the safety director can't do his. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dis. Anybody else in the audience portion? If not, we'll move to new business. Anything under new business? We'll move to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance authorizing the Secret Santa program to solicit funds.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Conaway.
Second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Leonard.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Mr. Marlin,
Make a motion, we pass.
Mr. Leonard.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Leonard.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Oh, did I call you twice? Laufman.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
I haven't changed my mind.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
your voice.
That's all right. An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Mr. Vancho
Motion to suspend?
and Ms. McMillan.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
McMillan.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Mr. Marlin,
Make a motion, we pass.
Mr. Conway.
Second the motion.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Marlin.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance to rescind ordinance number 5716.
Mr. Vancho,
Motion to suspend?
Ms. McMillan.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Mr. Leonard,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Marlin.
I second that motion to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Conaway.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Miscellaneous. Mr. Vancho.
The Finance Committee meeting will be held December 4th, next Monday at 4:30.
Okay, we don't have anything else, correct? All right, does anybody else have anything under miscellaneous? Ms. McMillan?
I have a couple things, if I may. First of all, I do want to reiterate what the mayor said about the parade. It was one of the best I've ever seen. The attendance was amazing, and it's great. And in my opinion, a lot of that crowd was throughout the town most of the day. I think we had a great small business shopping day. I was uptown and did some things myself and saw quite a few people. And I had a friend from North Carolina that sent me a message and said they were very impressed with our downtown, the attendance of the parade, and what Cambridge is doing as a whole. So kudos to all involved there. Mr. Diss, I want to thank you for coming today. We do have issues. I'm not going to deny that. We do our best, and we're working towards those, and I hope we can get some cooperation. With that being said, I do want to remind the residents of Ward 2 that you're welcome to contact me anytime with any concerns or anything that you may have. You may call the clerk for my contact information. She'll be happy to give it to you, or pass a message on if you don't want to contact me direct. We are having a ward meeting, which is initiated by the Chief of Police. Council members will be there. It's on December 12th. It's going to be at Garfield Administration Building, which was South Elementary, which was Garfield Elementary, and that will be from 6 to 8 p.m. I do invite my fellow council members to attend that as well. The first ward went very well, and I think we need to get out there and show our constituents that, yes, we are here and we do hear you. So I invite anybody to attend that, especially those residents in the second ward. That's all I have.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody? Yeah, yes, Mr. Go right ahead, yeah.
I usually don't say too much, but I do appreciate you coming. I truly do. And we've had many talks.
I appreciate the council members listening to what I...
And I'm glad, but this is what we do. And a couple of the comments, I'm going to be honest with you, was just a little bit below the belt on something. But that's okay, because that's your nature. I get that. But I want what you want, and we want for the whole town consistently across the world. We want that. You're right. I don't know why people drive across the sidewalk, and we do chase those people. But the chief of police and the police department, and I'm never going to say they're too busy, even though that would be the proper answer. But at the same time, we do need to focus on some of the speeders, and the trash issue is just frustrating. I don't know.
Mayor, do we have an ordinance?
He's out of order.
A homeowner?
I tell you, this is a discussion needs to be had between you two at a different time rather than right now. So I'm going to have to, it's outside of our rules.
Okay, thanks, Council President. We'll talk some more about it. But the bottom line is, I did hear, so thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Marlin?
Before we adjourn, I want to bring a subject up that's always been a history of Cambridge for 50 years. For 50 years, Avon, Hallbar, Grandview has had the Luminaire. The last 2 years, we haven't done that. I want to reach out to Vicki and Rick Foraker. For 21 years of those 50, they have donated their time to not only our residents of our neighborhood, but the city of Cambridge. It draws people into town. But I want to let you all know that my family is taking the torch on, and we're going to start this again this year. So just wanted to kind of throw that out to everybody that has enjoyed that for a lot of years. We want to let everybody know that Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock, Avon, Hallbar, and Grandview will pick up the tradition of the Luminaire in the city of Cambridge. And with saying that, I make a motion we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.